Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. So I just want to send a quick shout out to all my people down south in the mighty United States of America. I love you guys to death. Doesn't matter what you are, who you are, what color you represent, blue, white, red, purple, whatever. It really doesn't matter to me, okay? The United States for me is a beacon of freedom and prosperity and hope in spite of all of the crap and the foreign policy blunders and the corporatism and whatever else, whatever other charge you want to put on the United States. I still think it's a terrible system, but it's the best thing we have and possibly the best thing the world has seen so far. A lot of people reference other countries being these utopias where everybody gets free this and free that. Here's the thing. If you don't have a country doing the dirty work, you don't have that. Canada can only be nice, peaceful, saying sorry too much Canada if we have somebody who has our backs, okay? And that person who has our backs is the United States of America. So in spite of all of the criticisms that you could levy against the nation, and in light of historical scars, you still cannot fundamentally deny the great things that the USA has done for the world. And for that reason, my heart goes out to all of you, and I wish you all the most prosperous of 2021s. Now, I also want to issue a warning for those people who are really feeling disenfranchised and people who feel like it's now hopeless because, the House, the Senate, and the executive branch have all gone blue. What I will say, if you're on the red side, because I personally like a nice balance of power, I like one party at least to kind of be in control of one other thing, just to kind of balance it out. So what scares me most is unilateralism. One party being able to make all the decisions. That scares the crap out of me. It doesn't matter which party it is. What I will say is this, is that 90% of your life, you are in control of. It doesn't matter who's your politician on a national, on a state, in your instance here it would be provincial, on a municipal level, it doesn't matter. 90% of the outcomes in your life are determined by the individual actions you take every single day. And you need to understand that the tables do turn. And oftentimes, the tables turn faster after there's, I want to say, a radical outcome, but an unexpected outcome, one which is very one-sided. That one-sidedness keeps that table spinning even faster. So like I said 4 years ago on a channel which no longer exists because I took it down just because it was too controversial, I had indicated that I thought that there was going to be this blue wave, this resurgence of leftism. I thought Bernie was going to win because I thought that's where things were trending, and I think they kind of were, but let's not get into that. And I think the same will be true in this case if the Reds decide to regroup and kind of go back to the drawing board and revisit their ideas and see, okay, how can we appeal to a wider majority of people? Now, what I would caution against, and my concern now, is that we're going to see extreme incidents, extreme acts from people who are really passionate about what has transpired. That would be my biggest fear, my biggest concern, and that always yields the opposite of the intended effect. It's going to lead to more tyranny. It's going to lead to more laws, more regulations, okay? Just like we've seen with the police brutality situation earlier last year where, you go and you burn down cities and then they just have to increase the police presence and increase the laws and impose martial law. So it always has the opposite of the intended effect, but that's what I think the risk is now. This is kind of unprecedented in history, what has transpired here today. And I think that in light of all of the extreme incidents that have happened in the past, we can only expect that more of the same is going to transpire. Now, I hope it doesn't. I hope people keep their cool, but there's always going to be those people who try to take things into their own hands and they ruin it for everybody else. And I think that's why Trump came out afterwards with a statement asking everybody to just go home and capitulate to the process, whatever that might be. And I think that's why he did it, because he realizes that, all it's going to take is a few incidents, one incident really, and all of a sudden, they are going to be pressed for inciting violence. And we all know that left violence and right violence are different types of violence. Okay, left is usually low-level street thuggery, smashing windows, destroying businesses. I'm not trying to minimize that. We all know it's bad. It's not good at all to destroy somebody's livelihood who has nothing to do with the struggles that you're going through. And we also know that a lot of the really extreme acts happen on the right, because what happens is conservatives tend to be very, in terms of protesting and stuff like that, they don't do a whole lot of protests. It's kind of like, you fear that one guy, fear the guy who's saying nothing more than the guy who's talking a lot. It's kind of like the little dog who barks a lot and, he can't really do anything to you, the little ankle biter. To me, that's a lot of the protests that goes on in the streets with Antifa and stuff like that. That's what that is. Yeah, they're going to cause some damage, but they're not committing themselves to doing, big things. Whereas I think on the other side, that's not necessarily the case. They're more the, I don't want to say passive aggressive, but historically speaking, a lot of the more extreme types of, big displays have come from the right. So I just hope that people can keep their wits about them, because this is not the end. I mean, 4 years are going to go by and there's going to be somebody else and the tables are going to turn. And who knows, maybe from the red perspective, you think the blues are going to shoot themselves in the foot, and they very well could, because remember now they have all three branches of government. So they have no excuse not to fix the situations if they feel that they have the power in order to do certain things. And they're still limited in spite of that. I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of the process, but I do know that even if you do, they have it by such a slim margin that it's still going to be very difficult for them to be doing anything really significant. So, it's something to keep in mind, right? It's just, we're going to live to fight another day, and don't get too wound up about this, guys. Focus on yourself. Focus on your purpose. Nothing has really fundamentally changed. I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter who they put up there, the outcome is going to be the same. It's going to be a technological takeover, all at the expense of your privacy and freedom and liberty. Doesn't matter who's in the office, okay? What matters is what you do with your life today. What matters is what you invest the hours of your day doing. If you just invest the hours of your day combing the internet, looking for doom and gloom, if what you're doing is not bringing you a better life right now, stop doing it. Okay, so all I'm here to say is that live to fight another day. Go back, regroup. I'm not saying don't resist things that you don't perceive to be illegitimate. I'm just saying to just keep in mind that the majority of your life is dictated by what you do and not by what somebody else does. Don't put yourself in the crosshairs. Don't be anybody's pawn. Get out there, get prepped, stay ready, keep your head on a swivel. That's all I got to say, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Canadian Prepper out.